I don't know you anymore, but the love I still feel for you is impossible to ignore. You were once everything to me, now you're just a stranger that I can't forget. The love I once saw in your eyes is gone, and in its place is someone I can't reach. You looked different, but it's the distance that now feels so impossible to close. I almost didn't recognize you, but the heartache I feel is still painfully familiar. You've changed, but it's the silence between us that speaks the loudest. I see you, but the person I loved is no longer there. You looked different, and I realize the love we shared has transformed into something unrecognizable. You've become a stranger, yet I still search for the warmth we once had in your eyes. You looked different, and I realized that the love I held for you may never return. I almost didn't recognize you, and it left me questioning if I still knew how to love. You looked different, and suddenly I wasn't sure where we went wrong. You've changed so much, I fear I might never find you again. I can barely recognize you anymore, but the heartache feels all too familiar. You looked different, but I can't escape the feeling that I'm still in love with who you were. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. You looked different, but it's the ache in my chest that tells me you're still with me. I barely recognize you, but the love we shared is a memory I can't forget. You looked different, and it felt like we were both strangers to each other. You changed, but the pieces of you that still live in me never will. I don't know who you've become, but the love I felt for you hasn't left my heart. You looked different, and I knew in that moment something inside me was lost too. You changed so much, and now I wonder if I'll ever find you again. I looked at you, and it was like I was seeing you for the first time, and the last. You've become someone I don't know, yet I still long for the person you were. I almost didn't recognize you, but my heart knew who you were, who you still are. You changed, and I found myself lost in the silence of your transformation. The person I loved is now a stranger, and I wonder if you even remember me. You looked different, and in that moment, I realized how far apart we've grown. You've changed, but I'll always remember the person I fell in love with. You looked different, and I felt the distance between us in the air we used to share. I saw you, and it was like looking at a stranger, someone who was once mine. You looked different, and I wondered if we were ever meant to be or just passing through. I almost didn't recognize you, but my heart still aches like we were never apart. You look different, but my love for you remains unspoken, buried beneath the distance. You've changed, but the love I have for you is something I can't erase. You looked different, but I still feel your presence in every corner of my heart. The person I knew seems gone, but I'm still here, clinging to memories of you. You've changed, but I'm still stuck in the past, where you were everything to me. You looked different, but the love I had for you hasn't faded. It's only grown more painful. I don't recognize you, but I still ache for the person I thought you were. The face before me isn't the one I once loved, yet my heart still knows it too well. You looked different, and I realized I was falling out of love with who you've become. I almost didn't recognize you, but the emptiness inside me is a feeling I can't escape. You changed, but the distance between us will always be a pain I can't ignore. The love we shared feels like a distant memory, but your face remains a stranger to me. You looked different, and I wondered if I could still find the person I once cherished. You've become someone I don't know, and yet I can't let go of who you were. I almost didn't recognize you, but in your eyes, I still see traces of the love we lost. You looked different, and I realized I didn't just lose you, I lost who I was with you. The face I once adored is now just a shadow, but my heart still feels the love. I almost didn't recognize you, but the heartache of our love lost remains too familiar. You've changed, and I'm left wondering if I'll ever see the version of you I fell for. You looked different, and in that moment, I saw our future slipping away. I don't know you anymore, but the love I felt for you is something I can't erase. You looked different, but the pain of loving you still cuts deep in every silence. You've changed so much, but I'm still holding on to who I thought you'd always be. You looked different, and I realized I'm mourning the person you used to be, not who you are. I almost didn't recognize you, but I still feel your absence, as if you're right here beside me. The person I loved is now gone, but the ghost of that love still haunts me every day. My dear, you looked different, and for a moment I didn't know who you were anymore. You changed, but your absence is still all I see in you. I can't pinpoint it, but you feel distant now, like a stranger in my own heart. It hurts more than I thought, seeing someone I loved become someone unrecognizable. You looked different, but the pain in my chest still feels the same. You don't look like the person I once knew, yet the memories still haunt me. I almost didn't recognize you, but your absence was clear in your eyes. You've changed so much, I wonder if I ever really knew you at all. The person I once adored is now just a ghost in the silence. You're no longer the one I held close. Now you're just a memory slipping away. It wasn't your face that changed. It was the love I thought I knew that vanished. I looked at you and felt nothing, like a stranger meeting a ghost. You looked different, and for the first time, I realized I didn't know you at all. The person I loved seems to have dissolved, leaving a version of you I can't recognize. When I saw you, I felt an ache, a loss of the love I thought I had. You walked by, and I didn't know if you were a ghost or the person I once adored. The love I once knew is now just an echo in a face I can't place. You've become a stranger to me, even as my heart still remembers who you were. You're not the same, but I still search for the part of you that was mine. Your face has changed, but the ache of losing you remains. I thought I knew you, but now you are a distant, unfamiliar soul. What happened to the person I once loved? You look different now, unrecognizable. I saw you, and for a second, I wondered if we were ever really meant to be. You've changed in ways I never expected, and it breaks my heart every time I see you. You looked so different, but your absence still feels the same, empty. You're not the person I remember, and it feels like I'm grieving someone I never lost. The person who used to hold my heart now stands before me as a stranger. You changed, but the love we shared still haunts me like a faded dream. When I saw you, I didn't know if I was looking at a past I couldn't reclaim. You looked different, and I realized it's not just you that's changed, it's everything between us. The love I held for you is still real, but I don't recognize you anymore. You were once my home, but now you're someone I can barely recognize. You looked so different, and in that moment, I realized I was losing you forever. The version of you that I knew is gone, leaving only this shadow of what we were. I almost didn't recognize you, but the weight of your absence was undeniable. You walked away from me, but the silence is where I still hear your voice. You looked different, but I still search for traces of the person I loved in you. You've changed, and I don't know if I can ever find you again. The love that once filled your eyes has faded, and I'm left looking at someone unfamiliar. I wish I could find the person I once knew in the stranger standing before me. I almost didn't recognize you because the love we shared is now just a memory. You looked different, but the pain in my chest remains unchanged. In your face, I no longer see the one I fell for, only a reflection of what's lost. You're someone else now, and I'm not sure I can love this new version of you. I saw you, and for a moment, I didn't know if I was seeing the past or the future. You've changed, but my love for you is a ghost I can't escape. You looked different, but it's the emptiness that now fills me when I see you. The person I used to hold close is now just a memory fading with every glance. You're still here, but I don't know if I can find you in the person you've become. You looked different, and in that moment, I felt our love slipping away. I almost didn't recognize you, but the silence between us felt louder than ever. You were once my everything, but now you're just a shadow of what was. You looked different, but in my heart, I'm still clinging to the love we had. The person I once adored no longer exists, and I don't know how to move on from that. You looked so different, and it felt like we had no future left to hold on to. I thought I knew you, but now you've become a stranger to me. You've changed, but I still feel the ghost of the love we once shared. You looked different, but I still loved you like I did before. Maybe too much. The love I thought would last forever now feels distant, like a stranger I used to know. You've become a stranger, and yet I still feel your absence in every moment. I almost didn't recognize you, but the hurt was all too familiar. You looked different, and for the first time, I wasn't sure if I was still in love with you. The person I once knew has vanished, leaving behind only a face I don't recognize. You looked different, but your absence echoes louder than ever in my heart.